Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Pirates, our weekly football feature here on Inside Lowell, where each and every week we chat with a member of the Pirates roster, be they players or coaches. We get you to learn a little bit more about the team that calls Lowell, Massachusetts its home, and learn a little bit about the game of arena football as well. And today we're very excited to be joined on the Zoom line by the head coach of the Massachusetts Pirates. Pay no attention to that name you're going to keep seeing, I think, every week here, because we're using one of their front office folks, Adrian Lobo Figueroa. We're using his computer, but we're going to talk to different folks. And today we're excited because we're chatting with head coach Fred Griggs. Coach Griggs, thank
Sir,
you for joining us.
thank you for having me, Teddy.
Big pleasure for us here. I know you guys are back to work. You had a bye week last week, chance to kind of rewrite the ship for lack of a better term. Is the team ready to go for this Saturday night at the Tsongas Center?
Yes, sir. Bye week was definitely beneficial, taking care of some of the nicks and bruises, but also getting in our new offense coordinator, Martino Theus, and just getting the quarterbacks and everybody comfortable and cohesive with the new game plan. And we had a very good practice today, so definitely looking forward to the product we put out Saturday.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the new things and the changes. I think we got a little spoiled last year. Your first year in Lowell, the team started 3-0. It was just a house of fire. This year, unfortunately, you have lost the first two games, but it's been kind of a weird circumstance. I know the roster it's always in flux in indoor football, but
Mhm.
this year more than ever that I remember, you signed a new quarterback during the bye week as well, right?
Yes, sir. Felix Harper, we signed him as well.
Right. Is Felix coming into? Is he going to get an immediate role with the team, or is he going to serve in a backup capacity? What's the plan for him?
It's still an open competition. We practiced today, Kenji and both Felix. They both made a lot of good throws today. It'll probably come down on Wednesday and Thursday to decide, exactly what his exact role will be as we, assess everything that he's provided for the team. But just him with his vet morale and some of his experience coming in, just pushing Kenji, talking to Kenji, and just his familiarity with some of the guys being from the Atlanta area is definitely been a benefit to have him in.
So you're going to keep us in a little bit of suspense, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You also mentioned the new offensive coordinator coming in. How are you incorporating a new offense? What's the plan there?
Definitely. We have a new offensive coordinator, Martino Theus. I call him one of the quarterback whispers of this league. So he's definitely been talking to the guys, meeting with the guys, sitting with the guys, spending as much time as possible, making sure that they got the right reads down, the right calls down, understanding the scheme and the tags and attention to details, sense of urgency, all that's been a key point of emphasis for him. So just watching them come along in these last couple of days and just to see the progression that I've seen over a 3 to 4 day period of time, and just to see it today moving full speed with the guys coming at them a little bit faster was pretty good to see as far as the progression.
Yeah. And I have to say you're a relatively young guy yourself. You're not that far removed from your playing days. And it was interesting. I did a little look there on your bio on the Pirates website, and your ascension to head coach was interesting as well. You joined the team kind of towards the end of last year as a defensive backs coach, named associate head coach and defensive coordinator in October of 2024. And then they kind of kept the head coaching job open and before finally naming you on March 9th. It doesn't give you a lot of time, right? The season opener was what? It was March 21st or 22nd?
Yes, sir. The
You got
21st.
less than 2 weeks to kind of become the head coach and assume the mantle. Did you approach your preparations as if you were going to be the head coach? How did that whole thing work?
I honestly can say I probably did not approach the whole offseason as being a head coach because that definitely comes with a lot as far as setting order operations and getting guys on the same page and making sure that we can execute a full game plan and strategy from the first quarter to the last quarter. But having the experience and done it in the last 3 to 4 years, it was not a whole lot for me to accept as far as the weight on my shoulders to just keep the ship rolling. And the best thing, like I said about that is, yeah, it seems like we were put behind the 8 ball, and the start might have been not what we wanted, but to see the progression that we've seen in the last couple of weeks and the last couple of days with the offense, I'm really excited about Saturday.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing it as well. And just to be clear, for those who are watching it, you're not new as a head coach. You're new to the Pirates, but you've had head coaching experience and a lot of defensive experience as well. Talk a little bit about the challenge of being a defensive coach, and I'm going to guess a defensive-minded head coach in a league where offense kind of rules the day.
Um, Yeah, it's tricky because it might seem like that might be a conflict of interest or maybe a slight problem. But if you look around the league and you look at some of the better coaches, they kind of got a defensive backing. They play defense just because I mean arena football is made for the offense to score. A couple stops a game, the defense wins, and normally um the guys that's playing offense, they have to be so precise that they need to know exactly what the defense is doing.
Mhm.
They have to know the rules and the coverages and the roles of the defensive players. So at that point, for you to be good on offense, you got to know defense. And for you to be good as a team, you got to have a good defense. So I don't think me being a defensive minded or a defensive oriented coach is an Achilles heel by no means. I honestly feel like that's an advantage that we have because it's a similarity between the main competitors of our league.
And how do you feel the defense has performed so far in the first two games? From where I'm seeing, they've actually played pretty well. You've had game one, there was a bunch of turnovers that kind of put you behind the eight ball to begin with. But in terms of coming up with stops and key plays and even turnovers, your guys seem to be responding pretty well.
I mean, yeah, two games, six actual forced turnovers, like two or three other three and outs, combined like 9 or 10 stops in two games. I mean, you don't ask for more, especially for guys without the experience that we have on our defense. I think we have one vet in Matt Elam and Donnie Lewis, or two vets, Matt Elam and Donnie Lewis on our whole defense. So to get that many turnovers in arena football, especially in 2 games time, is very promising. You know what I'm saying, for a piece of the board. It's just the game is a three-facet game: offense, defense, and special teams. So making sure that we can stop giving up those touchdowns on special teams and just making sure that we can continue to put out a better product on offense, it'll make sure the picture comes together. But defensively, I mean, we held Quad Cities, who had the player of the week a week before, to 12 or 13 rushing yards. We had Jimmy Robinson, who was the offensive running back guru for the last couple of years. We had him to 33 yards. So the goals have been accomplished. Making plays on third and fourth downs to get off the field in crucial times where we have given up some touchdowns in the last couple of games. We definitely working to omit some of those mistakes. But as an overall product, defense has definitely been pretty impressive for the first 2 games.
Yeah, that was impressive on opening night. You mentioned Jimmy Robinson. We got to see him. He was playing for the Pirates last year. He was running wild on opposing defenses, and you guys kept him in check. I thought that was impressive. What can you tell me? Tell me a little bit about that Sal Lipoli Jr. kid. He's a local kid. We all know him well. I live in the town that he grew up in, Chelmsford. It's literally right across the town line here in Lowell. Not the biggest guy on the field, but man, he always seems to find his way into where the ball is going, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not the biggest by physical stature, but if you could put a size on heart and character, Sal's the biggest one I've seen in a while. The kid's a pro. He comes to film, he comes to practice, he gives his all, he accepts his mistakes, he fixes his mistakes, and he's a fighter, man. I like having Sal on the team. I definitely believe he's a big part of what we plan on doing and intend on doing moving forward. He missed last game, just protecting guys, body maintenance, but
Mhm.
I definitely can tell you Sal is a baller.
So he'll be back this Saturday night. All right.
Don't make me give away too much in the gameplay.
Okay, you're from that Bill Belichick school. You're trying to keep things secret, right?
I know what I showed him on film last week. I can't tell him too much outside of that.
All right. Speaking of film, your opponents this Saturday night, a new team to the league, an expansion team, Fisher's Freight. What do you know about them? Have you been able to see enough film on them to know what they do well, where their weaknesses are?
I mean, the head coach is a pretty prominent coach in this league, Dixie Wooten. He actually coached in Cedar Rapids with Coach Stout, who was one of my first arena football coaches. So I'm super familiar with Dixie. He was actually a coach on the west side of the league for the last couple years before this season. So we played each other multiple times every season. So the familiarity with Dixie is definitely there. There are players on their defense. I might have had like 4 or 5 of them on my rosters in the last couple of years. So we are super familiar with the coach. A couple of the guys, actually Devin Hafford and Cooper, were both a part of the Pirates last year. So there's a lot of elements of familiarity with those guys. Expansion team, that's almost like a trap stat for those guys. They all have experience. They all been around. It's just a New Jersey. So just respecting the opponent and understanding where we are, being 0-2, just coming out to fight and protect home for the first time. I think that's the main goal, and we know what we need to know about them. I can tell you that much.
So what's the key? What should we as fans go into the Tsongas Center on Saturday night look for to kind of get a sense of which direction the game's going to go? What do you have to do to get that first win in the column?
Just gotta make sure that we limit turnovers on offense. Make sure that we getting points, whether that's 3 or 7, as much as we can on every drive. Not just giving the ball back off missed field goals or field goal attempts that we don't intend on making. Honestly, defensively, we gotta contain the run. They do. They have one of the better coaches with Dixie Sun as the offensive line coach. Dixie coaches the game tremendously as far as the numbers. So just making sure that we stay disciplined, make sure that we hit our gaps and do it fast and tackle people hard. That'll be some of the keys to the game. But today in practice, I mean, we had good practice, very physical practice. So just establishing a physical dominance that we can impose our will on these guys. I think it'll be imperative to us. First couple of weeks, brand new coach staff, brand new guys. Feel like we're more so trying to figure out stuff, and we kind of forgot about the physicality element of what football is really supposed to be. So just make sure that the guys remember that, hey, we all come from this prestige for a reason, and it ain't because of so much of what we know, but kind of what we can do. Getting the guys going, falling back on some of those talents and some of that just brute strength. It'd be a very physical game this Saturday.
All right, we're looking forward to it, and hopefully you get the result that you're looking for as well. Coach Fred Griggs, head coach of the Massachusetts Pirates, thanks so much for joining us here on Inside Lowell. Good luck, and we'll catch you out at the fields.
Appreciate it, Teddy. You have a good one, brother.
Yeah, you too. That is Massachusetts Pirates head coach Fred Griggs joining us here for our Inside the Pirates podcast. Want to thank him. Want to thank you for joining us as well. And remember, game is Saturday night at the Tsongas Center. Let's get there, folks. Let's root them on. That's our indoor football team, and it's a lot of fun. It's tremendous fun for the family. I know my kids love being there as well. Until next time, everybody stay safe, stay warm out there on this chilly Tuesday, and we'll catch you on the other side.